kind of have to have a plan B when you're a sailor.
In this video, our anchor drags and we unexpectedly have to leave Nuku Hiva on an overnight sail. But swimming with mantas every morning makes it all worth it. We also teach you how to cut pamplemousse and enjoy a beautiful overnight sail to Nuku Hiva.
We did not anticipate it, but we are underway. We had a major problem with dragging in our last anchorage.
Our friends on 3 boats have just told us we're dragging. Instruments are going on. I'm headed out front now to pick up anchor.
All right, that's it. We just picked up the anchor for the last time. We can't get it to stick, so now we've got to prep the boat for an overnight passage to Tahuata. We are doing an overnight sail all the way to Tahuata, and hopefully get some sleep once we get there. So far I've been dodging a lot of squalls. Brown's trying to get some rest, and yeah, not what we wanted to do, but you kind of have to have a plan B when you're a sailor.
I've never been so happy to see the sun come up. We're coming into our anchorage now, and everything went well last night. Just had to keep trying to slow down, try to miss squalls, lots of things to contend with, but we're here, and now we just need to drop anchor successfully. We are anchored down and safe. I just can't even believe the events of the last 12 hours. It's just crazy to think about. We really thought we could drop anchor again and find a place that we would be safe in. You know, we drop 300 feet of chain and then we drag. So it got so frustrating, and then it was pitch black, and we've got really expensive boats behind us, Outre-mers and whatnot. Anyway, we just called it. Captain Brown said, that's it, we're out of here. I was like, no. It ended up being fine. We did a lazy jib sail, and that worked out really well. The waves were pretty rough on our beams, so it just rocked the boat constantly like this. So that was a little bit tough to get any sleep. Brown wanted to go to the anchorage on the farthest point on the south of the island of Tahuata, and we got there about 4:30, so we had to wait about an hour for us to get some sunlight, and then we got sunlight and we went in and it was packed, and we dropped anchor, and I don't know if we dragged, but we were just too close to another $5 million Outre-mer, so we said forget it, let's go to the next anchorage, the one behind us. And we dropped there and it was all rock. So then we just said, forget it. That's it. We're out of here. We're going to Hanamanoa, where we know there is a sandy bottom and it's 20 feet deep. That is where we are right now. I've never been so happy to see the boat stationary in sand and this beautiful anchorage. Planning an overnight when you have the time and you actually plan it is, you know, it's challenging enough, right? But you make sure you get sleep, you make sure the boat is prepped. Well, we did not have that luxury. So basically we had to prep the boat underway in the pitch black, which is not ideal. Thankfully, it was really calm. Thankfully, the sea state was great coming out of the anchorage, so we were able to get the boat prepped. And then we had to decide where we were gonna go. We hadn't checked the wind, we hadn't checked the sea state, nothing. We had no idea what we were gonna get ourselves into by leaving, but we really had no choice. So thankfully, it's always gonna be an easy sail back to Tahuata unless there's a north wind, which doesn't happen this time of year. So we knew at least the wind would be fine. We're just so thankful we're safe, that we didn't hit anyone with our boat when we dragged. So many things to be thankful for, and especially right now, this clear blue water that has manta rays in it. And look at that view. It's 6 o'clock in the morning and we are back in manta land. Who gets up at 6 in the morning to swim with mantas? That would be us. Anyway, we're very excited. Come on with us. The name manta comes from a Spanish word for a blanket or cloak. The wingspan of these gentle giants can range from 6 feet to 23 feet, and they are super smart creatures with the largest brain to body ratio of all fish. Much like a human fingerprint, each manta has a unique pattern of spots on its belly, which remains largely unchanged throughout their lives. These spots enable scientists to identify individual mantas and observe their behavior and movement. These mantas, they're amazing, absolutely incredible. To stay alive, mantas must keep moving forward at all times in order for their gills to be oxygenated. They feed as they move, and they have developed highly efficient techniques for ingesting as much plankton as possible, like this repetitive somersaulting. They are filter feeders. That means when they find abundant plankton, they swim through it with an open mouth and unfurled cephalic fins, and everything in their path gets filtered through a large oral cavity. We have been in Tahuata, Anchorage now for 2 days, 3 days since we did the overnight passage.
About as long as I can remember.
It is so beautiful here. We've been swimming with mantas and really enjoying it. This is our last pamplemousse. But tomorrow we will be in Nuku Hiva because we're doing an overnight tonight to head up to Nuku Hiva, which means we're gonna have new freshies.
So we got to move on. And to be somewhere that you worked so hard to get to, that you love so much, and to leave it knowing you're never going to be back here is a little painful.
Right now I'm gonna show you how to cut a pamplemousse. This is the easiest way to do it that I have found. So, first thing you do is you cut the top until you get to the fruit. Wow, that's a thick skin. And then you take your knife and you score down the sides all the way to the bottom. You don't go too deep into it, just through enough of the thick skin. Once you get all of these cut, then I cut around here, and then I just pull off these big wedges like this. Normally it comes off a lot easier than this, but I obviously didn't. Oh, I didn't score over here, that's why. All right, and once you get all of these peels off, then the easiest
There's nothing left.
The easiest thing to do is cut down one of the rows between the fruit sections and open it up. And then from here, you can start taking each of the sections out and removing the peel. Pamplemousse is by far one of our favorite fruits here, and the Marquesas is the place where they actually grow them, and then they ship them back to Tahiti. They're so fresh, and the part that you eat, it's kind of like a grapefruit, but it's just better. And this is the part that you eat here, just this fruit section, and you can see it looks like a grapefruit and it's got the juice of a grapefruit, but it is so much sweeter and so much better than a grapefruit for sure. So I'm gonna enjoy my pamplemousse now. Goodbye, beautiful Hapatoni Bay. Wow. I hate to leave it.
I'm gonna try to get the sail up.
Yeah, we're gonna double reef tonight.
We're gonna go safe and smooth. The reason why we're reefing is if we hit a squall, we don't have to do an emergency reef. We're not just gonna single reef, we're gonna double reef, but we're starting early so that we got tons of time. Not in a rush, not on a schedule. We're going super safe, and that's building a margin of safety and anti-anxiety. Okay?
Let me grab my gloves. Okay. Oh man, look at that. So beautiful. Wow. And off we go. A little bit north and a little bit west. That is Hiva Oa. So for us to put the sail up, we're gonna have to turn that direction. So we want to get as clear as we can from land. We chose not to put the sail up at anchor because we had a very tight squeeze in there with a lot of boats, and we anticipated that our anchor was under the boat in front of us, which it was. So he had to move, and if we had the sail up, it would have just been a little bit more complicated. So we decided we were just gonna wait and put it up after we get out. We are ready for the overnight. This is where we will sleep tonight so that we can be listening if there's any issue at the helm.
What's our speed?
5'2". So estimated arrival is 8:30. It's a beautiful evening, afternoon sail. So I got a little bit of a worry here with our second reef line pushing up against our sail. You can see there's already chafing going on here. Not really sure what we can do about it. But maybe stick a towel in there. We're going to talk about it now. And down at the bottom I think is worse. Oh, you got it. Okay, cool. Wow, the moon is so bright. It's incredible. Last night was full moon, and this is just slightly waning, but you could never tell with how bright it is. It's like a spotlight. We have been moving about 3 hours, and we are motoring right now because all of the wind is coming from here and it's being blocked by this island. So as soon as we get up here, probably we can catch some of the wind that will wrap around. We'll be able to start sailing again, but until then we're stuck in this no wind zone with waves kind of hitting us from the side. It's not the most comfortable, but it'll be over, I think, within an hour. So looks like a clear sky tonight and a squall so far. Very, very thankful. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30. I just came on shift. We've got a bright moon except for 2 squalls that are covering it. So I'm not sure what this one's doing yet, but just watching it closely and hoping it just keeps moving west before we get to it. So you can see the moon, and then to the right, that dark splotch, that is all the squall passing us. And it's just passing in front of us. Definitely my favorite time of day when I'm on night watch is to get to see the sun come up. And on the other side, at the same time, I get to see the moon set. Pretty cool. I'm so bummed I couldn't wake up Brown. That was the coolest thing, to get to see those dolphins jumping. They followed us for about half an hour, and oh man, it's just the coolest thing. Nature is amazing. I don't care how many times I've seen dolphins, they still make me smile. We're not very far out from our destination here. A little over 10 miles. Looks like 15 miles. So we should be there, well, at our rate, it's going to be a few hours. But I'll have to start the engines here pretty soon and get us moving. But it's so peaceful, beautiful. This is the island of Nuku Hiva. I think it's one of the biggest, or it is the biggest in the Marquesas, and we have had a great overnight passage. We're looking forward to getting in. Yeah, just ready to get the hook down here. So lots of friends in the anchorage, and looking forward to getting on land and doing some hiking. I think he uses our wake. It's been raining this morning quite a bit, so we've collected full buckets of water and we're ready for some laundry when the time comes. But for now, we need to get the dinghy down and fight the urge to stay on board and get sucked into the internet.